All right, I am in Las Vegas. I'm not back in Las Vegas. I'm in Las Vegas. I've never been to this Las Vegas before. Not the Las Vegas you're thinking of. I'm in Las Vegas, New Mexico. On my way, ultimately today to Albuquerque, ultimately on this journey to Las Vegas, Nevada. But while I'm here at a gas station in Las Vegas, New Mexico, thought I would talk about dividends. The last finance related video I made was conceptual reasons that I like dividends. This time there's going to be some numbers. The first thing I want to do is actually go through a basic example before I go through an actual example of a dividend paying stock. First thing I want to do though is show not necessarily the exponential nature, but something that a lot of people don't quite understand who dismiss dividend positions quickly. So let me show you this first. There's some graphics.
Okay, before I get into a much more specific example, first, let's look at this. 4 times 5 equals 20. Okay, the number to the right of the equal sign is called the product. When you're multiplying, you get a product. So, here we go. I'm going to stick with this 20 for a while in this example. Let's get rid of the circle, though, and put the 20 off to the side. You could increase the product by increasing either number on the left of the equal sign. Either or both. So instead of a 4, let's make it a 6. 6 times 5 is 30, and 30 is greater than 20. It checks out. Back to the original. We could increase the other number instead. Instead of 4 times 5, it could be 4 times 7. 4 times 7 equals 28, and 28 is greater than 20. That checks out also. Or we could increase both numbers. Instead of 4 times 5, we can make it something like 8 times 9. 8 times 9 is 72, and 72 is also greater than 20. That checks out also. Back to the original, but let's take out the numbers and put in some letters that represent some words. Q for share quantity, P for share price, and V for value of your position. So people buy a certain amount of shares in a stock, it's at a certain price, you multiply those two things, and that's the value of your position. A lot of people want to increase the value of their position, and all they're thinking about is increasing the price. I'm going to buy 200 shares today, and I hope in 2 years the price has gone up. So then I could sell it for more, and I can make a profit. A lot of people don't think about also increasing the quantity. You can increase both. A lot of people just think about the price.
So it seems like a lot of people's reasons for not liking dividend positions is that dividends aren't real. The day a company pays a dividend, say it pays a 20-cent dividend, the stock is going to start off that day 20 cents lower than it was the day before. It doesn't mean dividends are fake money. It doesn't mean it's just like fairy tale dust. You need to do that in order to prevent people from just buying the stock for one day. If they didn't do that, people would buy the position, hope basically the stock just broke even for the day, and then sell at the end of the day, and they would just pick up that dividend amount. That's it. I mean, you could do that like a ton. There are a lot of dividend paying companies out there. You could hold a lot of positions for a day and just receive the dividend amount. In order to prevent people from doing that, they lower the price that day. It doesn't mean dividend positions can't go up. It doesn't mean the dividend money doesn't actually exist. Now, I'm going to show you an example from Coca-Cola. They've paid a dividend for a very long time. Not just paid it, increased it every year for a very long time. Actual data, let me show you that.
Okay, actual example now, an example from the Coca-Cola company, ticker symbol KO. So say you bought 1 share of Coca-Cola on February 3rd, 2013. It opened that day at $37.48. Say you held it for about 2.5 years. That 1 share on August 16th, 2015 would be worth $41.03. But it paid dividends 10 times in this period. The first dividend payment happened on March 10th, 2013. It was a 28-cent dividend. The open price that day was $39.20. So if you reinvested that dividend, you got an additional 0.0071 shares. So there it is, the first of 10 dividend payments, an additional 0.0071 shares. The next dividend payment, the next quarter, you reinvested, you got an additional 0.0067 shares. The third time, an additional 0.0072 shares, and here's all 10. It paid dividends 10 times in this 2.5-year period, and the sum of all of these additional shares, 0.0763 additional shares. So now, if we look at from a couple scenes ago, this share quantity times share price equals value, initially you had one share, it was worth $37.48, so the value of your entire position was $37.48. If you only cared about the price increasing, well, it became $41.03. But there's more to it than that. You didn't just have one share at the end of this. You increased the other number on the left of the equal sign. Instead of one share, you ended with 1.0763 shares. So your ending value was actually $44.05. Without the additional shares, a $37.48 investment became $41.03. All of this is pre-tax, but that's an increase of 9.5%. With your additional shares, your $37.48 investment became $44.05. That's an increase of 17.5%.
So some people seem to think when I talk about dividend positions, like, some people's perspective is that dividends are scams. The same company, the only thing different, paying the dividend or not, nothing different would happen, because that money that they pay you is actually like taken away by the stock market. That's not the case. And there are also some people who think I'm claiming that dividends are just like magic money appearing out of nowhere, and if you don't have dividend positions in your portfolio, you're the world's dumbest human. I'm not saying that either. I hope with the last video I made about the conceptual reasons I like dividends, it's clearer now. It's a way to break up how your investment is growing, as opposed to a company like Roblox, for example, or Tesla, companies that don't have dividends. So if you buy the company, if you buy shares in the company, the only way you're going to turn a profit with Roblox is if the stock price increases. With a stock like Coca-Cola, you're diversified a little bit. You're getting some guaranteed income in dividends, which is allowing you to buy more shares easily. You're getting the money from the company to buy more shares. Yeah, you could hold Roblox and you could just every 3 months, every 6 months, every year, get more cash together, deposit it into your brokerage account, and buy more shares. But you could acquire more shares with Coca-Cola without ever putting more money than that initial investment in, because Coca-Cola is paying you dividends, and you could use that money. You could have your share quantity increase, and hopefully over the long term the share price also increases. So it's not pure magic, it's also not pure nothing. It's somewhere in the middle. So I'm hoping with this example with the numbers, it's a little clearer. Also combined with the last video with the conceptual reasons that I like dividends.
I got it at the stadium in May.